Hello, traders. It's Sunday, June 7th. Man, it's tough to get back in the grind on a Sunday night after an awesome weekend, but here I am. I've got a nice stock for you to take a look at for Monday morning. You can see here the S&P 500 has been accelerating its rally. Everybody's really excited about the economic recovery, the strong jobs number on Friday, the good ADP number, ISM manufacturing, ISM services look good. We had good PMIs from China. So everything's coming up rosy, but the market is getting a little overextended. You can see how the S&P 500 has poked through the upper trend line, which I believe that we are going to see a pullback fairly soon. We may get another green bar and another green bar, but somewhere along the line, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a buying climax. I expect us to pull back into this upward sloping channel, and that means that you should keep your swing trades to a minimum right now. Little exposure. This has been a light volume rally. Look at how low the volume is right here. This is a seller's boycott. This is a very light volume rally. That tells me that it's vulnerable to profit taking. Bullish speculators are going to get shaken out. So the bottom line takeaway of anything that you hear tonight is keep it small. Keep it very small. And I'm already trimming all of my day trading activity to half of my normal size during the morning and a quarter in the afternoon. It's a light volume rally. So this is a low probability trading environment, but I want to give you a trading idea for Monday. So please bear in mind that you should not be making or losing a lot of money on this trade. You should monitor it and evaluate our research and our methodology. So what looks good for Monday? Apple is a stock that I traded on Friday. I've had a lot of interest in the option lottery trades that we do. We buy calls in the last hour of trading on Friday that have a very high degree of probability as far as finishing in the money. We try and buy them for pennies and we try to sell them for 20, 30, 40, 50 cents. It's not unusual for us to have 200 and 300% profits on these trades. Can we find them every week? No, some weeks are more difficult than others, and it's been 2 months since we've been able to do this strategy because option implied volatilities have been so high and option bid-ask spreads have been a mile wide. All of that is starting to change. We're seeing tighter bid-ask spreads, lower option implied volatility. So once again, the strategy is viable. Friday, I was watching Apple, and I'll show you why. So in the background, you're going to see the S&P 500, the SPY. I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart. And if you watched my video early on Friday, I said, listen, we're going to see a rally to a new high, which is where we're at, a new relative high, excuse me. Then we're going to have a dip later in the afternoon, and that's going to flush out some of the bullish speculators. On that dip, we're going to be looking to buy calls on the strongest stocks. So I was already searching feverishly from about 90 minutes before the close, and I ran across Apple. We're going to the 5-minute chart on Apple, and here you can see how it had really nice strength. Had a nice little high right there. While the market was pulling back, Apple compressed. Long tail under body, long tail under body, long tail under body. Great relative strength. Orange line above zero tells me it has relative strength. Fantastic. This is a good candidate for me. So now all I need is for that option premium to come in and to start seeing some support in the market. So we get this drift lower, tail under body, tail under body. Okay, I've got relative strength in the stock and the market looks like it's starting to gain some support here. Again, mind you, I'm looking for it to blow through the high of the day and to close at a new relative high. Well, you can see how Apple right in here was starting to gain momentum. So I bought the Apple $330 calls and I bought them for 65 cents. I did it in the chat room. Lots of members joined me in the trade. Now, what I like to do on these trades, and by the way, they were about 30 cents in the money at the time. What I like to do on these option lottery trades is I like to sell half of the position and I place a 100% target. And so what happens is once I've filled on that first order, there is no way I can lose money on that trade because I have a free trade at that point. Then all the pressure is off and I can watch the stock do what it wants to do right into the closing bell. And because those options are in the money, they're going to trade at parity. The market makers can't play any games with us. And when the stock takes off, and this was a prime stock, Apple had been at a new all-time high. Let's look at that daily chart. And this is another reason that I liked it so much. You could see here how Apple had broken through that previous all-time high. And so I thought that it would be like throwing rocket fuel on a fire. If the market ran higher, Apple was sure to do the same. And that's exactly what it tried to do. We got out of half of the position for a 100% profit. The other half of the position in here, we had a market pullback. So I was really happy I hit my 100% target. Now the market's pulling back. Uh-oh. Pete didn't forecast that. Pete thought we were going to close on the high of the day. But because I was in the right stock, Apple held strong. I was able to sell my calls for 65 cents, the other half of the position. So I scratched on half the position. I made a double on the other half of the position. But you can see how as soon as the market found support on Friday, and these are the last 15 minutes of trading, look what Apple did. Long tail under body, and then zoom, gone. So Apple's got a tremendous bid to it right now. If they wanted to sell the stock with the market trending lower and lower last week Friday, I'll move this back so you can see, market's doing this, stock is compressing and going sideways. If they were going to nail that stock, they would have done it right here and it would have pulled back. But the buyers were lined up, buy. All I needed was for the market to move higher Friday, and I think that those options would have gone easily from 65 cents to $3. Didn't get that market move, so I scratched on the second half of the position. And the real reason that I want to get to all of this is, number one, I want to teach you about option lottery trades, and I'll try and do an educational video on it this week that gets a little bit more in depth. But I also wanted to show you Apple because I think it's going to do well on Monday. So I have to tell you that every time I do a trade, I don't take my eye off the market. So this trade is going to be contingent on what the market does Monday morning. The S&P futures are slated to open 20 points higher as I watched the live data come in a few minutes ago. So a lot can change overnight. Maybe the S&P doesn't open 20 points higher tomorrow. I'm going to assume that it does. And here's what happens on a gap higher. When you have a gap higher, oftentimes that gap will fail. And if it does, it'll fail usually in the first half an hour, first 45 minutes. Sometimes it fails in the first 10 minutes. And that's when you get a gap higher and instantly long red candle, long red candle, long red candle. You ever see that? That means that there's going to be a reversal right out of the gate. So those reversals tend to happen early. I'm telling you this because I want to see the market find support. A low, a higher low, a higher low. This is nice. We're compressing, we're gaining momentum, and now all of a sudden we break through the high of the day on the SPY on Friday. That's the type of price action that we're looking for. If we get something like this where the bid holds, that gap up higher holds Monday, it's all systems go. After an hour of trading, we're going to be looking at Apple. And what I want to do is I want to see Apple leading the charge. So yes, I want to see Apple higher tomorrow with the market. And when the market is going sideways like this, I'd like to see Apple ticking higher. Higher, higher, higher. That's relative strength. If we get the combination of these two events, we have the bid holding on the market and we have Apple ticking higher and showing strength relative to the market. When the market makes a new high, you can buy some Apple in the money calls. I'd probably go with the 330s, go with the normal June expiration. They've got about 2 weeks of life. You're going to get a nice little pop in the market. You're going to get a nice little pop in the stock. Sell the calls. At least take the majority of the money off the table. If we get a market close that's nice and strong and the market closes in the upper quadrant of its daily range and it holds the gap, okay, fine. You want to hold some Apple calls overnight? Hold some Apple calls overnight as long as it continues to show relative strength. We want to see that stock making a new all-time high tomorrow. We want to see another long green bar with the stock closing on its high of the day. That is a trade that you can do Monday morning. Make sure that you have the market conditions that I've outlined. Make sure that that bid holds early in the day for the S&P 500. Make sure that Apple has relative strength and that it's continuing to push higher. If you have all those ingredients, place the trade. Make sure to take profits on that trade. What's my stop on the trade? Your stop on the Apple trade would be if the market takes out that low price that was established in the first hour of trading, or if Apple takes out its low price of the day that was established in the first hour of trading. Those are all of your instructions. Again, we got to be very tenuous, got to be very cautious with our swing trades right now. We've got to be cautious with our day trades. I feel that the market's getting a little overextended on the upside. That doesn't mean that I'm looking to short it. The best play for us as swing traders is going to come off of a market pullback. I'm not going to get cute. I'm not going to try and call it. I'm not going to try and short it. I'm going to wait for it to happen, and then I'll be reloading on my longs. That's it for tonight. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. It's a Sunday night. I was a little reluctant to do a video, but that'll motivate me to do one perhaps next Sunday. Sign up for this YouTube channel. Please turn on your notifications and you'll never miss one of these videos because you never know when they're going to come out. I promise you, I'll always have some actionable trades in them. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.